TV.
Welcome to Grey County Life. I'm JC Coutts.
I'm Sarah Carmichael. Joining us on the show today, we are going to speak to Marcia and Kim about the Reel Festival coming up this Saturday. Also, Verna and Mary will be joining us from the Meaford 150 Kickoff Committee to talk about all the celebrations. And of course, Renee from the Owen Sound Animal Shelter will be in with an adoptable animal. How's things?
Things have been busy.
Yes.
Yes. We've had the weirdest weather with snow and then melt and then snow again. Like, it's just been the oddest time of the year. And I know for fellow pet parents, a tough time of the year too.
Oh goodness, my floors are filthy. I've given up. I've given up washing the floors for the time being because as soon as I wash them, the dogs will go out for a walk and then they bring mud and wet footprints back into the house, and it's like I never even bother. Like, it's like I didn't do it. So I've pretty much just thrown up the white flag. I've surrendered to the dirty floors for the time being. And yeah, it is nice though. I will say the temperature when you are walking the dog, because you're not like having to put on 7 layers of clothing and, completely cover your whole face because of the wind and all that stuff. So it is a little more pleasant, definitely. But one thing I really don't care for this time of year when things are starting to melt is what is revealed.
Yeah.
A lot of irresponsible pet owners that don't feel the need to pick up after their pets when it's snowing or when there's snowbanks and they go in the snowbanks. Also just litter in general. A lot of garbage sort of is getting displayed in neighborhoods and side streets, and even down by the harbor where I often walk my dogs. I've been noticing this the last couple of days, especially as it's getting warmer, but that's probably my least favorite thing about this time of year is that the laziness of people really is on display.
Yeah, and sometimes too, it doesn't help that we've had that high wind, right? So all of a sudden it's like, oh, where did all this garbage come from? It's like, oh, this blew in from Chatsworth, actually. They just all moved over another town because of the windstorms that we've had. Like
someone's mail, it's like RR2.
Yeah,
where'd this come from?
Yeah, but I think Owen Sound does do like a pitch-in day or something like that, usually in the spring when everything has melted and there's a big community event. We're going to find out about it and get people on the show here so that we can all pitch in and clean this place up.
Yeah, there is some sort of an initiative that they do, I believe, with working with like the Beavers and the Scouts and the Sydenham Sportsman Club, and they do some sort of a community cleanup. There was actually something like that when I lived in Thunder Bay too. This group, Eco Superior, they would sponsor it and they would drop off garbage bags and like the little pokey sticky things and gloves at any businesses that wanted to participate. And then on one day, everybody would go out in the neighborhood around them and clean up, and then they would come around and pick up the garbage bags too. So it was like, you go out for an hour, you pick up a bag, you leave it on the curb out front of your business, or even, a school if you want to do that, or even your home, and they just make their way around the town and collect them all. It makes a big difference. And there's a competition they do. So it's like whichever business, because there's different categories. It'd be like whichever business collects the most bags of garbage, could win a prize. And a little motivation I thought was really cool. So that would be maybe an idea for our community if they wanted to, add a competitive aspect to it, because people like competition. They really do. But I definitely think that we're going to get out and get things cleaned up in a matter of the next couple of weeks, probably.
Oh yeah. Have you snapped into spring's cleaning mode yourself at all at home yet?
Not really. I mean, I have been trying to sort through clothing. That's been my biggest thing right now, is I have too much clothing. I don't wear most of what I own, so I've just been trying to go through and get rid of stuff and make donations. And I know that Safe and Sound Residence is always looking for pants, especially women's pants, smaller sizes. They're always needing that. Even men's pants, again, smaller sizes. They're looking for jackets still, any sort of like mitts, hats, gloves, because we're not quite done with winter, and the nights do get do get cold still, and there is, people that are using the services there that are without places to live currently, so they are often out in the elements. So something to keep in mind if you're doing any spring cleaning, maybe going through the drawers. They could always use your help.
Absolutely, yeah. If you're looking for options, Value Village is always an option, but there's folks too that genuinely would need it and will appreciate it if you can drop it off. Yeah, I haven't done too much around the house yet, but I'm getting into that mode right now where, because I've been constantly cleaning, and I don't know, with the one dog, with Lola, if she just hasn't decided if it's a spring coat or a winter coat, because the hair has been unreal the last couple of weeks. I don't know if anybody else that has thick dogs are going through this, but she seems to be like, she doesn't seem to know. Am I cold? Am I hot? I don't know. I'll just leave it all here, I guess. So my Dyson's been getting a workout.
I actually saw a video the other day that I thought was a really neat idea. Someone had taken all their cat's hair. They had a big floofy, chonky cat, right? And so they would brush it to keep it groomed, and they would take all the hair and they put it in this little, it would almost look like a napkin holder, like a wire napkin holder, for lack of better description. But they would put all this hair and then they hung it out on a tree, and so the birds would use it to make their nests. So maybe Lola fur could be nest lining.
Well, it's funny you should tell that story, because just last night we spent a good 25 minutes combing Mavis the cat, who is quite a rotund kitty.
She has some size to her.
And we filled a Lay's chip bag full of her hair. So we still have it. So, I mean, I can take it out.
Yeah, just find a little
help
something.
the robins.
Yeah, and to put it out in a tree or somewhere they can get to it and they can use it for their nests.
I'm going to put it out at night so my neighbors don't see me doing it in the daylight, because they'll just be, what is that
the
weirdo
crazies
doing?
Next door.
He's hanging up cat fur. Is this supposed to be a warning or something to the neighborhood? Don't talk to him.
Oh my goodness, that's so funny. But anyway, something to keep in mind if you do happen to have a floofy cat or dog and you've got all this, fur tumbleweeds around your house. Anyway, just a reminder that this Saturday night, the Owen Sound Attack are going to be playing at the Bayshore. It is a fundraiser for GRACE, the therapeutic riding program. So if you are headed to the game, please make sure that you're supporting them, chuck-a-pucks, that sort of thing. And it's also the final week of Snow and Sound Frolics. So if you're taking part in that, you're going to want to check out the Owen Sound Tourism Facebook page. Now, we're looking forward to a great show. Coming up next, joining us will be Marcia Cunningham from the Roxy and Kim Skeen from the Tom Thompson Art Gallery.
This program is brought to you by Ignite TV. Now you're in command. Visit Rogers.com for more details.
It's closing time, and you stayed out longer than you planned. So now you can't drive, and the buses have stopped running. You could always call your girlfriend. Or maybe your roommate? What about your best friend? You could just dial 1-888-TAXI-GUY or use the Taxi Guy app. The call and the app are free, and they both connect you to a local cab company to bring you home safely. Visit ArriveAlive.org to find out more. Arrive Alive, drive sober.
October 5th, 2014, my daughter was hit by a train. She was walking along the sides of the tracks, and it shattered her world.
Welcome back to Grey County Life. We have two guests with us joining us in the studio. We have Kim Skeen from the Tom Thompson Art Gallery, along with Marcia Cunningham from the Roxy Theatre, because the Reel Festival is coming back. This is the 16th Reel Festival, I believe.
Yes.
Wow. So, all right, let's talk about the Reel Festival then, and how exciting it is coming up this week, this Saturday, March 2nd. Yep. 3 movies on the docket this year. Let's talk about, first of all, we'll talk about the first movie that's going to play that day. The Lebanese Burger Mafia,
Yes.
which right away kind of said, comedy?
It is a comedy and a really cheeky title, but I guess people out west, Burger Baron's a thing. And so the director actually was in line to inherit a Burger Baron from his family. And he said, well, what's the story with Burger Baron? What's going on there? And so that's where the documentary comes from. And it is a comedy and it is a documentary. There's some characters that they're interviewing. And there's no real answer at the end, I'll tell you that, but it's so entertaining. It's really entertaining.
We both lived out west. Do you remember Burger Baron when you were out there?
Not to my knowledge, but I was in a very like kind of secluded area.
That's true.
When I lived out west. I was like way up in northern BC, so we didn't have too much out there as far as like chain restaurants. But what about in Grand Prairie?
They didn't have them in Grand Prairie, but there was one in Whitecourt. So if you ever made the drive from Grand Prairie to Edmonton, which we often did when we were out there, there would be the Burger Baron right on Highway 43. And we did stop once on the way to a Guns N' Roses concert. And I couldn't believe what was on the menu there. They had everything, like egg rolls, mozzarella sticks, burgers. Like it was everything. It was the coolest experience ever. So I'm actually kind of excited to go and see this one, because one of the options with the Reel Festival, you can go for the whole day, see all 3 movies, or you can just go
Buy
and see 1 or 2.
individual tickets. Yeah. Indeed, you can. Yeah, they mention Whitecourt, I believe, in the film too.
Oh, really?
So yeah.
I thought I saw it in the trailer, which we don't often have clips on this show, but today we have clips.
Yay.
So let's take a look at the trailer for the Burger Mafia.
I became the bad guy of the Burger Baron, and Rudy is the godfather of the Burger Baron.
It's a chain restaurant that went wrong, and the food there's no quality control between them, but I love them.
It's been a photocopy of a photocopy of a print of a photocopy. There's all these variations, and I don't know if that's part of the charm.
There is no actual system. Everybody's kind of doing their own thing with Burger Baron.
It's so mysterious. And the Burger Baron, like, who is that guy?
There was people, I'm sure, that thought maybe we were doing something legal. It's almost like the Burger Mafia.
It's a territorial business. My Burger Baron is better than his Burger Baron. It was a civil war.
My best friends are Christians. My best friends are Muslims. And suddenly, each one have to disappear.
Your only way out is the water.
We lost everything. We decided this is not the place to raise a family.
I was thinking I'll give them empire of a restaurant.
I'm the owner, and whatever happened is my decision.
We have such a strong independence. A franchise system doesn't really work well with us.
I run everything on my own. I don't deal nothing with a company, franchise, I do nothing. I run on my own.
I think the biggest obstacle is trying to band everyone together to realize that things could be stronger as opposed to just being a meme.
That's the problem with the Lebanese mentality. They cannot accept one person in charge. It's against their genes.
Kitchen, soon as you step.
My dad is
that looks fascinating.
My dad was Burger Baron.
It is.
for lunch after this.
No,
Right?
it is so funny. It's really entertaining, and it won a number of audience awards at all the small festivals it's playing across the country, and it's got a really unique narrative structure. You saw some animation in there, and the typical documentary talking heads, but there's some characters. It's really an enjoyable and engaging film.
All right. Yeah. And that's the film that's going to lead off the day at 11 a.m.
That kicks off the day. Yeah, right. Yeah. Then, do you want me to go on to the next one?
Well, yeah. Well, I should probably mention where is the festival taking place? So it's at the Roxy.
Oh, of course, it's at the Roxy
Theater
Theater
this year.
So you're going to be in the big, comfy theater watching these movies on the big Roxy screen.
Big screen, amazing audio, comfortable experience for sure.
Yeah, regular theater going cinema for sure.
All right. And is there any capacity issues? Do we have to worry about sellouts? Do you have to get your tickets fast before they sell out?
I think it's always a good idea to pre-buy your tickets for sure. I mean, the $65 day pass is a great way to sort of know that you've got a ticket for everything, and then otherwise the tickets are $15 each. They will be for sale at the door as well, but we always encourage people to call the box office or go onto our website and purchase their tickets in advance.
Perfect.
And with reserved seating and everything, it makes it very convenient.
And then movie number two that day is called Four Daughters. What's this one about?
So this is a documentary about a woman and of course her 4 daughters, and 2 of them have disappeared, and I don't want to do any spoilers, so I won't, but it's her journey into bringing her family back together, her struggles in Tunisia, and how she's a working mom, and cultural influences. I believe it comes out of a news report that was in the early 2010s, I think. But it's a good movie. I just screened it last night again, and it's a moving film. Again, a different narrative structure for a documentary. They have actors playing the daughters that are missing, but the engagement between the women, it just builds, and it's an emotional ride. But it's a story that needs to be told.
And it was just nominated, right, for one of the Oscars?
For an Oscar, yeah, an Academy Award, and it won a number of Best Documentary awards across a César. It's nominated for, was a Palme d'Or nominee at Cannes this year, and it's really taking the international cinematic world by storm. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, let's take a look at the trailer then for Four Daughters.
اللي فهمته من الفيلم اللي مش يكون دوري كما دور روس في فيلم تيتانيك. هي مش تحكي في حكاية فاتت، فما ممثلين آخرين اللي هم مش يمثلوا الواقع اللي متاع القصة هذيك. معناتها إني روس.
ألفا عندها 4 بنات، 2 الصغار آية وتيسير مازالوا عايشين معاها، وال2 الكبار رحمة وغفران كلاهم الذيب. وزادة باش تتعرفوا على 2 ممثلات اللي باش يمثلوا أخواتكم الكبار. أما فما ممثلة باش تعوضك وقت اللي انت شي حوايج صعبة عليك تنجمش تعملهم.
هذا هو الجانب الخايب في الفيلم، نبداو نبرشوا في الجروح متاعك.
أكسيون.
اي اما مازلت ترى اللي اي حاجه عندها علاقه ببدنهم.
طب بدني ملكي يعني ما ملك شكون جاتك القوه هذه كلك منين طلعتي بيه الكلام هذا؟ هاو كان نلقى وقت نشدها نبرك عليها كيف من هكا والله قاعده نعبر يعني نحكي في الفيلم مش نحكي في الدار.
انت شنو هي الغلطه في هذا؟ سامحني شنو
يا انت قالت لك الطفل باسني،
انت ما بستش في امها.
كان باسني وانا ناخذ الثاني وناخذ الثالث. خاطر كيف ما قالت لك نفس اللي تمارس عليها هي في حياتها عملته فينا احنا الكل.
اختك وين؟ ما نعرفش.
بقول لها برشا حاجات اني.
في الفيلم هذا باش نحاول نحكي حكاية بنات ألفا.
Wow, that's so Oscar-nominated documentary there, Four Daughters. That will be the second movie of the day at this year's Reel Festival. That's an amazing piece of documentary work.
Yes, it's a wonderful film, actually. Yeah.
Wow. And then the third movie that we're going to see that day, you're going to have to help me with the pronunciation on this one a little bit.
I'm not going there. I'd rather not. I struggle with the pronunciation as well, but it's Before the Sun.
Before the Sun is the translation.
Yes, yeah.
All right, and this film is about?
It's about Indigenous horse racing, a relay race. So even the CBC, I just read this morning that it's one of the most dangerous sports in Canada, the relay race, and the relationship with the horses and their riders is very deep and felt, and it's part of their heritage. And it's a young woman who's taken on the ridership of a horse within the relay team, and it looks very exciting. This too has won a lot of audience awards, and our programmer said it had people standing up at the end cheering. So, yeah.
All right, well, let's take a look at the trailer for the third film that will be featured at this year's Reel Festival.
Being with my horses, I really feel like they feel my energy, my emotions. They're my home. I feel like there's definitely like more eyes on me because I'm a girl.
These are the fastest horses in the world. It's an extremely dangerous sport.
Look at Red Crow, the old sun in the blue and gold. Whoa, this is gonna be close.
And that's just a short one for that, but Before the Sun, obviously much different than the first two trailers we saw. A little more excitement in this one with the world of horse racing.
Indeed, and they don't have saddles. They're
I know.
bareback.
I have horses. I ride horses, and I looked at that and I'm like, I don't do that.
And yeah, that's a regular race ring that they're around. So quite competitive. It's also a lifestyle. There's a whole, just like a rodeo circuit that they go to. But yeah, so. Amazing. It's very exciting.
Yeah, it sounds like it's going to be a very busy day at the Roxy. So the films are at 11, 3, and 7.
Correct, yep.
And as you said, you can buy a pass and see all three. I mean, why wouldn't you?
Yeah,
They'll all
festival
look great.
experience.
Yeah, exactly,
Yeah,
exactly.
make it a day.
Wonderful.
What's the process to select movies for the festival every year? Is there a jury that sits down and spends hours and hours watching documentaries trying to figure out which are the best?
As I said, we haven't had a real festival in several years, but we do have a film group at the gallery who I send all of the bookings out and the release schedules, and they watch a lot of trailers and read a lot of reviews, and they all provide input into that. So a little narrower scope this year because we chose to do documentaries, which is something we've been asked to do a little more of from our film goers. Can you bring some documentaries in? And we thought this would be a great focus for a one-day festival. Yeah.
Incredible. And in years past, are there films that you've had that have been showcased at the festival that you're really proud of? It's like, wow, I can't believe we got that movie at the festival, because that was such a great thing to have.
Oodles of them. We screened The Room. We screened, Katerina. Oh, that's a question. A lot of Canadian film. A lot of Oscar winners that were international film winners. Oh, to provide you a list? No. Off the top of my head? No. No, I just can't remember titles.
Plenty.
But there are plenty, because quite often the Oscar night would be the night after or the weekend after, and we'd be cheering, the films that we'd showed on. So yeah.
It's amazing. I know that because we're very limited in our theaters here, and when these films do get released, and they usually don't get wide releases, so you have to kind of live in big cities in order to go see them. Is there any possibility, maybe just down the road, perhaps that partnering with the Roxy, that we get these big releases when they do come out, where we'll be able to see them in Owen Sound at the Roxy?
There's always potential for screenings at the Roxy. Currently, the film program does screen at Galaxies, and it's an annual program. And the Reel Festival is an offshoot of that for people wanting more of a weekend experience. Affiliated with the Toronto International Film Festival, of course, that's where we get a lot of our picks from. So they do program us for those films up here. Yeah.
There's options.
There's lots
no,
of
there
options.
is, but it's a whole day experience at the Roxy, and I don't know if you guys remember. I do remember going to film there and cinema there as a younger person, and it's downtown. There's films. There's the Armands following a film in between screenings,
and there's also the food. Sorry,
Savor Owen Sound.
Yes, Savor Owen Sound that weekend as well.
Yeah.
So between the shows, patrons have the opportunity to grab a bite to eat. There are so many fantastic restaurants in the downtown area. We just had Ladies Foursome recently, and Pappy's Eatery around the corner was a sponsor, and it's a great spot for lunch. So.
Will there be lots of downtime between the movies that day for people to plan if they're planning to make a full day of it in Owen Sound?
There is. They're scheduled such that you could go have lunch or have an early dinner or dinner afterwards. At the gallery beforehand, there's a coffee and treats and tour at 9:30, and you can get tickets for that on our website or call in for that too to kick off your day. But I think there's a lot of opportunity downtown. You can mosey about, grab a coffee, grab a snack, stretch your legs. Yeah, exactly, between screenings.
So we're excited about it, I think, not just because it's good for the Roxy and good for the Tom, but also it's good for the downtown area. It's good for people who enjoy film and then also want to spend some time celebrating the downtown of Owen Sound in the River District. So I think it's going to be a great day.
A little bit of spring fever too.
Yes,
Everybody get out
let's
and
hope
walk
it's like
about.
this.
Right?
Yeah.
Exactly like this. It'd be perfect.
Yeah, and Marcia, since we have you here, I'll just ask you, anything coming up at the Roxy in the next couple of weeks that we should highlight on the schedule for people if they're planning
Let me pull this
on
out.
any outings? I know Ladies Foursome just wrapped up another successful run of an amazing play.
It was fantastic, yeah. Really did well, really did well. And then we have Abamania Night Fever, which has been rescheduled. It's March 5th and 6th. That's always very, very popular. And then the Caverners, which is a Beatles tribute, is on the 9th. Hell's Bells is March 16th. And then the next OSLT play, Something Rotten, takes over the theater. It's going to be an extravaganza. It's a big, farcical musical, lots of folks on stage, great music, amazing costumes. You should see the things that the wardrobe team have been doing with that. And so that will run from April 11th through to the 27th.
All right.
Yeah, it's going to be just fantastic.
And of course, we're going to have some of the crew, the cast, perhaps from Something Rotten, will be joining us leading up to it as we get a little bit closer to it in April. But very excited. I've already started to see some of the photos, the behind-the-scene photos coming out, and again, it looks like it's going to be another amazing production.
Yeah, it's going to be super.
All right. Well, the Rio Festival coming up on Saturday, March 2nd. Getting ready for that. Again, if people want to get tickets, what's the best way to do that?
They can call the box office at the Roxy Theatre, or they can go onto our website at roxytheatre.ca, or drop in to the theatre Tuesday to Friday, 10:30 till 5, or 1 hour before the show. But I really think people should get them in advance. So
you definitely
always
should.
safe. Yeah.
Get the good seats before they're all gone. All right. Well, we're very excited. 3 movies going to be featured again on that day. The Lebanese Burger Mafia, that begins at 11 a.m. 4 Daughters at 3 p.m. and then the evening showing 7 o'clock of Before the Sun. So lucky that we have such amazing movies and such an amazing venue to go and see them. Thank you so much for joining us, Kim.
My pleasure.
And Marcia. Great to see the Tom Thompson and the Roxy working together to bring amazing events to Owen Sound. Thank you both. Stay tuned. We've got lots more on the show. Renee's going to be here in a little bit. We'll meet another adoptable animal. Plus, we'll learn more about celebrations for Meaford's 150th anniversary. That's coming up next on Grey County Life.
This is the office of Todd Hammersfield. And like most of Canada's film and media industries, Todd's studio is mostly straight and white. Todd tends to avoid that topic, but it's not Todd's fault. Todd didn't personally spend the last century making it nearly impossible for BIPOC and LGBTQ plus folk to pursue careers in this industry, or at least I don't think Todd did. Did you, Todd? But he did benefit from the structure, and that's why we need Todd's help now. By pledging to check their privilege, Todd Studio can now help fund programs to finally create a more diverse talent pool. And Todd, you can stop hiding behind this plan. What?
Actually, I'm in the vents.
Oh!
There you are. I was looking all over for you.
Stop hiding from our industry's lack of diversity and pledge to help POV fix it. Go to checkyourprivilege.ca.
They don't make vents like they used to.
I'm number 24, Tays Jordan.
And number 21, Harry Nancy.
Tune in to Attack Rap
on Rogers TV.
The town of Meaford is celebrating its 150th anniversary, and naturally there's going to be some big celebrations planned in honor of the anniversary. And joining us now over Zoom from the town of Meaford, we have Verna Hindle and Mary Solomon, who are part of the organizing committee that is in charge of putting together all of this celebratory festivities. Good morning. Hello.
Good morning.
Hi, good to see you.
You too. Now, of course, a lot of people grew up in Meaford, Verna, yourself included. Now, Mary, are you from Meaford originally?
No, actually, I'm an import.
Are you?
But my husband was born here in Meaford. Yeah. So, and his dad's side of the family, part of it goes back quite a long ways. So.
Perfect. And, you know, Verna, you've lived there since, I think, what, grade 9 was when you moved to the area?
Yes. Actually, because Mary's husband and my brother were really, really good friends. Your mother and the four of us used to play card games all winter long at each other's houses.
Yeah, my mother born in Meaford as well. And my dad also went to high school in Meaford, and that's where my parents met originally. And I have some deep roots to Meaford, so I'll certainly make sure that I'm part of the celebration coming up. So the event itself, coming up on March 10th. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, on March 10th is sort of our kickoff for the whole year. And so on March 10th, there are a number of things going on. The first thing I'd like to mention is that at the Meaford Hall, the museum, who have done an absolutely spectacular job already. They have an exhibit of the date lines of Meaford, maps of Meaford. It's fabulous exhibit that is open now that anyone can go and see. And they're going to hold a reception from 11 to 1 on March 10th. Then from 12 to 2, you can come up to the St. Vincent and Meaford Community Center, where we are filming from with our lovely fridge in the background. And so you might as well be home down. Anyway, so there'll be skating going on. Then starting at 2 o'clock, in the community room, we have quite a number of dignitaries, I would say, coming, and but are really excited that we're going to have Jenny Besworth, who is from Meaford and who is quite a renowned podcaster, is going to come and tell us some of her Meaford stories. And then we will also have community displays there, including, again, our wonderful museum, who has a cookbook that is coming out. We just, we're going through it. It looks pretty darn good. And we will be ringing in the new one, the next 150, I guess. So we'll be ringing it in. We have a town crier. We have former police chief, Dennis Freeburn, is going to be here to lead us all off. And we have community displays that are hopefully going to show a little bit of their timelines. It was funny, I just read the other day, we've asked the curling club to put something in, and I just read that our second mayor of Meaford was a member of the Meaford Curling Club, and that was way back in the 1800s. So, and we're going to have, of course, cupcakes and hot chocolate, and there'll be children's activities. We're going to do a bit of a townscape where you can write what you like about Meaford or maybe a memory.
The Golden Heirs will be taking part as well. The Golden Heirs Lady Squire. They've been in Meaford for over 50 years, so they're a third of that 150 years, and they'll be helping with the starting Roll Canada and singing Happy Birthday as well. So it's nice to have the communities involved in different activities and organizations that have taken part.
Yeah. So, and if people are trying to find out a little more information, it is now being posted to the Meaford Sesquicentennial. We may have a contest for that one. Can you say that 5 times?
We're practicing.
It has to make you smile, right? And so there is lots of information starting to come out on it about March 10th. We also have a Hello campaign, which actually we were inspired by by Kincardine. And so we're asking people in Meaford to say hello when they're going down the street to other people. But we have the added advantage that last July, we started collecting ways people say hello in different languages that represent people in Meaford. And we had 50 different languages, including sign language, Braille. And so on that site, once a week, we challenge them to try to say it in a different way, to say hello. And there'll be increasing information also on the June 12th.
June 15th.
15th, sorry, June 15th is the big party. So, but there's a lot of planning still going on there.
Yeah, as well, a lot of organizations and groups around town will be doing events that are geared to 150, including the Golden Airs. I'll plug them again. Our annual May concert on the first Sunday in May. It will be sort of it's about local. It's about the Bay and that sort of thing. Not geared towards 150, but it's about what it's like living here, kind of thing, is what we hear the music to and everything. So, and other organizations have as well. They're going to include other 150 events in their own events, which is really nice because it's a lot of community participation taking place in all of this. We're actually part of the kickoff committee, and there's another committee above us that is planning everything else and whatnot. So those activities are still to come out for the actual June 15th.
Yeah, and actually in Bogner,
yes,
and there's going to be in the spring a tea, and they're dedicating it to the 150. So everyone's kind of jumping on the bandwagon, which is wonderful.
We're getting them in gear because next year is actually municipality Meaford's 25th anniversary of incorporation. So we're showing them how to do it this year.
Once you're retired.
Yeah.
Wow.
It sounds like there's
if you want to ask it, too bad.
No, it's good. There's just so much information. It's awesome. And I mean, I'm sure that the people of Meaford will come out in droves to all of these events. I mean, it's a great small town, and there's always, people interested in getting involved in the community. And so it's so great to have, people like yourselves getting onto the kickoff committee and, the organizing committee above you, as you mentioned. It's always just refreshing to see people, giving their time to make their town better, which is basically what this is, and marking a milestone.
Yeah,
the event's for everyone. It's for people to come back to Meaford that have lived here and come back and want to see Meaford again, and for people living here and for people even considering to come and live to Meaford. That we've invited everyone. Like, my idea of this 150th is that there's so many people that we're standing on their shoulders of, the forefathers and foremothers of Meaford, that we want to make this a thank you to them as well, because they created Meaford. Meaford an area. I shouldn't just say Meaford. Meaford's surrounding area. Meaford wouldn't be here without the area around Meaford as well. So we want to make this open to everyone and want them all to feel welcomed.
Yeah. And I think one of the byproducts of the whole thing is some of us, like Verna and I, who have known each other to say hi to for a long, long time, have got to actually work together on something.
Finally.
And we're just going, our whole little team that's working on it. We're just kind of like, I'm so glad I got to work with you, So because we have Susan Lake, Lynn Carver, and Margaret
Williams
that are working with us.
And Margaret has a lot of history in Meaford. Her history goes back probably about 200 years in Meaford, her forefathers and that. So she was a great one to come on. She will be our MC on the Sunday of the kickoff program, and she will be great. Yeah, and we picked the chief of police because he's lived here all his life too, Denny Freeborn's family and that. So he was chosen as well because of his involvement in Meaford all these years, and being the chief of police for so many years and being on the police force since he was first, became full-time working. So yeah.
So,
any questions?
Are we enthusiastic?
I've got a question. Just because I've been taking a look at the Facebook page at the, how do I say it again?
Sesquicentennial.
Sesquicentennial, which is a word I didn't know existed before today, I've been looking at the Sesquicentennial Facebook page and seeing some of the old postings, some of the old history behind Meaford that's going up, and some of it's really, really interesting. Some of it's really, really cool. One that I stumbled across, I did not know this, that there was a Disney movie filmed in Meaford, 85.
Yeah. That's not even history to us.
Yeah. that happened.
That just happened. Yeah. You're probably.
It shows up on Facebook every year, and everybody comments on it. Yes, we just watched it. We're going to watch it again. And we know a lot of people who were actually in it.
It had to be one of the most fun times being in Meaford, unless you worked on the main street. And my husband, who's in a wheelchair, worked, his insurance agency was on the main street, and he had to ask permission to come out on the street, because if they were filming, they had to have the same people going back and forth, right? And he was never one of them. So he had to get permission. Can I go for lunch now? But he said, but it was great fun. The nighttime, you'd suddenly see the downtown look like day. It was fabulous. I remember that as being a good memory. The other great memories that we used to have is we had a lot of summer theater here.
Yes.
And a lot of the actors were billeted by families here.
Speaking of plays, there's one coming on November 3rd. Our counselor, Harley Greenfield, is very well known for writing plays for different scenarios. And he's actually writing a play for Meaford's 150. I say Meaford 150 because I can pronounce that. And so it'll be November 3rd. And it's going to include the Golden Heirs.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, there's so many things still in the planning. And most of the, probably, and I don't want to promise something that isn't there. So I'll just say a lot of the groups that put on yearly festivals here will all be incorporating the 150 for sure. Yeah.
All right. I know that you said that you're still planning to do a few things. You're still figuring a few things out for the big festival for the big ceremony in the summer. But I will ask about. I saw this in the newspaper clipping from 1974 from the 100th about the beard growing contest. Is that going to be back? Because I know this gives some gentlemen time to start growing.
I don't know. We've got a meeting next week. I think we better suggest that one. I think that'd be fabulous.
Oh man, don't give him a reason. Don't give him a reason. I've seen like a full-on beard. I don't know. Unless the prize money was worth it. I don't know.
I've since gone back and seen the photos. It wasn't worth it. I had regret immediately about that.
Lights went out.
Oh, we're back on.
Oh, you're back. Oh my goodness. Yeah, it's definitely going to be a lot of fun. I mean, as I said, especially for me, because, being that my family, like my mom's from Meaford, my dad grew up in Bognor, but went to school in Meaford. My grandma currently lives in Meaford. I've got cousins there. So I'm sure I'll be part of some of the festivities as well. I'm sure my mom's looking forward to it. I wonder if, she'll try to break out her old cheerleading uniform that she wore back in the high school days.
Please get it posted online. I actually did post my gym suits. I've got 3 of them, and I posted them on the Facebook page.
And they were not good memories, whether you came from Meaford or not.
And I have my school sweater and that. But as you know, your parents are also celebrating 50-year class reunion this year too. So we're working on it and really hoping that we can get some involvement. Our battery's running down. So. We're celebrating ourselves, and we're going to incorporate that and invite everybody that we know to come back for it. We purposely planned it close to the 150 party so that maybe they'll come back for the whole week and stay for the week. So
awesome.
Is there anything that is planned that people should definitely not miss as part of any of the celebrations leading up to or when we get to the actual anniversary itself?
Well, right now they need to go to the Meaford Hall and look at the display set up by the museum. Museum's been working on this for 2 years, and good for them. And it's a beautiful display, and it gives the chronological, see, I can even pronounce that, history of Meaford going back to 74, and it's a great display in the galleries, and it's open until the end of March there. And as soon as you go there, you also go down to the museum, because it's everything Meaford, of course. And the museum, our museum, is one of the best museums around, I think, for having a great display and of Meaford items and everything.
This is what happens when retirees have technology problems. I think there's only one plug in this whole kitchen. But we're in the 150, so we celebrate everything, right?
Right.
Any excuse to celebrate.
And so I think some of the churches are getting on board as well to do things. And organizations like, I hate to say one organization because I'm going to miss saying some others in that, but we've asked them all to incorporate any activities they have this year into our Meaford 150.
Yeah.
So, so hopefully there'll be a lot of activities. And with the kickoff, I think that will spirit people into thinking, yeah, we should do this or we should do that. Like even block parties, I think would be great.
Oh, yeah.
With the scarecrow invasion, like if they put a goal out to have 150 scarecrows on display this year, you know, to kind of incorporate it in that way, something simple like that. I mean, not that making 150 scarecrows is simple, but.
No, they make 250 a year. So
there you go.
No, I'm just teasing, but yeah, definitely. I know Scarecrow, Christmas on the Bay, all of them have their thinking caps on. And, you know, I don't know whether I should say this, but Meaford is often called last minute Meaford. and I have to say, some of us on these are kind of saying, we're living up to our reputation.
Spontaneous.
Yes.
We're spontaneous.
But
you like to live in the.
That's right. But we're finding, whether it's a reputation or not, we're having a lot of fun doing it. And I think the people on other committees are too. So it really is lovely to be able to celebrate. And I think what's really nice for people is you start to find out how many people from here, you know, did interesting things, were inventors, politicians, sports people. It's fabulous.
I believe there's a couple that are doing interviews with people who have lived here forever. And I just got another name of someone today who's over 100, I believe, Alex Gowdy. And he needs to be interviewed for sure, because he's been here forever. But there's a number of people that have been here and know Meaford so well and have such great stories to tell and whatnot that, hopefully that'll work out.
I think it also, you know, it gives you an appreciation of time because, you know, I've been here since 1981. I think, and, you know, and Meaford has changed. Changed a lot. And some things for the better and some things I would love to go back to our downtown the way it was when I made chair, when there were like, what, 4 ladies stores on the main street, a men's store. You know, there are all sorts of things. But those things change, and I think, that wasn't for the better. But then I can say Meaford Hall is beautiful. My husband, such neat things that go on, and that's what we need to do in 150. We need to look at all those changes for what they are, and again, to celebrate.
Bye-bye.
Hi, I'm David Shearman, host of Politically Speaking. Join me for my next show, where my guests will be from the mayor of the town of Blue Mountains and a member of council. Politically Speaking on Rogers TV.
Like most of Canada's film and media industries, Todd Studio is mostly straight and white. But by pledging to check their privilege, Todd Studio can now help fund programs to finally create a more diverse talent pool. And Todd, you can stop hiding behind this plan. What?
Actually, I'm in the vents.
Stop hiding from our industry's lack of diversity and pledge to help POV fix it. Go to checkyourprivilege.ca.
I'm Mayor Ian Body. If you want to understand the decisions being made about your community, please join us on Rogers TV Cable 53 on Mondays at 5:30 p.m. or online at rogerstv.com to watch the Owen Sound City Council. You can also read our agendas and reports or watch replays of meetings at owensound.ca. We hope you'll stay informed and we hope you'll tune in. Thanks.
Are you the type who would keep going or stop? It's not easy to stop when you have an addiction. Legalizing cannabis won't stop addiction. It trivializes its consumption. Let's be vigilant. If you need help, visit portage.ca.
Welcome back to Grey County Life. We've got Renee from the Owen Sound Animal
It's me.
Shelter joining us in studio with a very friendly doggo named Rocky.
This is it. And there's never been a better suited name, I think. This guy is Rocky. He's a rock star, aren't you, buddy? Rocky is an 8-month-old neutered male. We're calling him a wish Frenchie. He is a French bulldog, but he's not of the best quality of breeding. Sorry, fella, but this is what you get. It's the wish version, as we call it. He was purchased as a purebred. He might be, he probably is, and he has all bully personality. When I say that, he is going to be top dog in the house. He wants to be the top dog. He's not mean about it, but he's just going to do it. He's also very quick to chase cats, and I don't think it's because he wants to cuddle them. I think he actually likes to chase them and boss them around. He is good with children, and he's learning to be crate trained. The reason for his surrender, he was an owner surrender, is because he was sometimes peeing in the house. So we need to make that well known, because we don't want you to bring him back next week when he pees in your house. It is a process, and we are working with him on it, and you can do it too. It's not difficult. The introduction of a crate certainly makes that much easier. As you know, I love them. It makes life easier. He's in one now. He's okay with it. In fact, he's quite happy with it. We like it because we can control the intake, and with puppies it's super, super important. You can control what's going in, you can control what's coming out, and the same holds true for older dogs as well, especially when they've got a bad behavior. It's the only way to get them out of it, is to control what's coming out. Right? It's the easiest way, but it also makes life easier. So knowing that he's got some issues with cats, perhaps if you have a cat come and visit, or if you have a cat in the home, you want to make the transition easier. Using a crate and supervising visits certainly makes that better. And same with dogs and kids.
Oh,
hi. No, you
that's so
cannot.
nice.
You cannot come home with me.
That's so nice.
We have enough bullies in our house. Yeah, we do. Oh, gosh, you're cute though.
Yeah.
He is very good in the car. He's been socialized with people. So all of those really difficult things have been taken care of, which is nice. And again, he's fully vetted. He's got his neuter, he's got his vaccines, and plus he's so darn cute, right? These smaller dogs are kind of trending. We've gone away from the Shih Tzu poodle style more into the box style. The reason for this is, I mean, they're compact, cheaper, easier to get around, but additionally, they've got the bigger dog personality. So if you're somebody who doesn't have the space for a big dog, but likes the way a big dog feels, it's the only way I can explain that. The personalities are different. This is a good option because he gives you all those big dog things. You can go hiking, and I mean, it's not something we think of French bulldogs. Trust me, this guy wants to go for a hike. He wants to chase a ball. He wants to do all those big dog things, but in the little body, which might be exactly what you're looking for, which is what we're hoping. We've talked about it quite a bit. The shelters are all full. These little ones are the ones that we know people are looking for. So he's sort of here to move on out so we can let another big one come back in. But at the same time, it's also a reminder, if you have something specific you're looking for, now is the time to call us. Yeah. If you would have asked me 5 years ago, do you get French bulldog puppies? I'd have said absolutely not. Here we are. Mm-hmm. Things have changed. We're getting just about everything. If you have something specific you're looking for, please call us. If it's not him, that's okay. Hi, well, why wouldn't it be? But it's totally okay. Oh, that's the good spot. Oh, I found the good spot. Okay, we'll stop. You're collapsing in my arms. Let's not rub that spot. It is a good opportunity if you have something specific. If you were looking for that Shih Tzu, for example, to call me, because there's a pretty good chance we know of something looking for a home, right?
Yeah, or even if there's like a cat and you're looking for like an orange cat or a tabby or
the calico
a
cat,
Siamese cat or whatever, you can put them on the list, and when they come in, then they can get a call, and it makes things a lot easier actually for you if you already know that there's a home that's wanting these animals as they're coming in.
Absolutely.
And obviously once their, checks are done, then you can kind of just keep it moving.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
It also gives us the opportunity to have conversations with you, as opposed to just posting and you comment, hey, I want it. That's a quick and easy, right? What we actually want to do is talk to you about the sort of requirements. We want to explain to you that he's going to need a crate. We want to explain, the energy requirements, the training requirements, and the bedding stuff, so that you're fully prepared. And it gives us the opportunity for them to meet your family and meet your other pets if you've got them, and see how all of that goes. We can take our time with it. So call us, get on that list. It's the best way to see things through.
Oh my gosh. Well, he's super cute. I love his coloring. He's got the brindle kind of coloring there on him, and those ears, I'm pretty sure, can pick up lots of different channels.
I agree. He reminds me of a bat, actually. I think I would like to call him Batty.
Oh, Batty.
Right? Or something like that. Batman? Oh my gosh, Batman. Seriously. You're getting a name change, Rocky. Actually, I just said your name.
Call him Sonar.
Just said your name was so well suited to you, because you are little Rocky. Yeah. Thanks again.
And he's not shy about showing affection, which is really
Where are we going? Where are we going?
Oh my goodness.
Okay, nowhere.
He's so cute. He's so cute.
You know I'm holding you, right? Like if I let go, you're falling. Okay, I'll just keep holding. It's all good.
Are there any long-term issues with this breed? I feel like I've heard that sometimes they develop breathing problems longer term. Or?
They can. In the Wish version, it should not be as great of a concern, as the issue is the very squishy face. They don't often have enough drainage for the nose. It comes out the eyes. Gross, right? But it affects their breathing. In his case, he's got, I found the other good spot, he's got a longer snout than those style of Frenchies are, so you should be able to avoid some of those issues. Okay. It will be important that his weight does not get too heavy. He's going to require that exercise, because the added weight will actually have more of an effect on his breathing than his squishy face will.
Okay.
He does not have any special food requirements. Often with these guys we see that, but not in his case, so you've dodged that one too, which is good. Sometimes it's better to get the special version of it. Where are you going? There you go.
I do have friends that have Frenchies and pugs, and they've told me that those breeds, you have to be careful, because they're breeds that will gorge themselves if given the opportunity.
Absolutely.
So you really have to monitor their food intake.
Yeah,
That's true?
They love to eat. They love it. They love it a lot. It's your favorite thing, isn't it? Loving to eat. In fact, you're a little on the chunk side already. We should slow that down. Right? Right? A little bit. I mean,
he's turning away from you.
He's
feeling very
like,
judged
what the heck,
right
man?
now.
I'm a baby. It's okay.
Oh my goodness.
I'm a baby. Just a baby.
What? And this is just, what is sort of a life capacity for a French bulldog? 8 months.
Yep.
What? 12 years?
Yeah,
10 years?
13, 14.
Okay.
Yeah, easily. The Wish version could even extend into 15, 16.
Right. Okay.
I would say, as long as nothing unexpected shows up, you'll get at least 14 years with this guy. So a nice long life.
Absolutely.
But you need to know that, because you got to make
it's
plans.
A commitment.
You got to make plans for the next 15 years of your life to have this guy around.
Oh,
right?
goodness. Well, if you're interested in meeting Rocky or any of the animals currently up for adoption, definitely give Renee a call at the Owen Sound Animal Shelter, 519-372-1123. Thank you, Renee. Great to see you. And thanks for joining us on Grey County Life.
Connect with us by visiting our website or email us at comments@rogerstv.com.
I still remember the games, the laughter, the footsteps through the hallway. I'll never forget the challenges. Every day I come back from work, it's always like this. We're yelling in front of the kids. I'll never forget the help we needed. How far we've come.
Hi, can I take your order? Hello?
Oh, hey. Wait, what was the question?
Let me guess. One driving high combo, extra baked?
No. Could I get a burger with a side of